Hello, hello, hello. It's episode 10 of the Vision Board podcast. I'm Tristan Cannell. On my left-hand side, I've got Johnny Stuffco. Johnny, what's up, man?
All right. My awful rendition of Matthew McConaughey. What's up, buddy? Yeah, I was just watching Dazed and Confused for like the 100th time recently.
I think you're watching How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, man.
That's exactly right. Hey, man, whatever.
Good show. That was a good
it's
show.
Matthew McConaughey, man. You can't go wrong.
Good movie. Another exciting episode. Again, today we've got another former world champion in the house. One of Sydney's own, so it's good. We're looking at the water right now. We've got good vibes, and he's one of my favourite fighters, so it's good to have him on. But before that, as always, just a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, sponsoring the episode today, we got The Organic Trainer. Check them out at www.theorganictrainer.com. Exercise tea, recovery tea. They also have an awesome flask. It allows you to actually put the tea in the flask, fill it up with water, take it with you. You can take it to the gym. When you're checking out, proceed to the checkout. Type in code word TheFitCoach to receive 10% off of all of your purchases. Our second sponsor for this version of the podcast is Jackrabbit Slim's Barbershop. They're located in King's Cross, Potts Point in Sydney, Australia. Be sure to book ahead and book with Dre for all of your hair, facial necessities.
All right, definitely. Mine's a bit long. We'll have to call.
You need to get that cleaned up.
We'll have to call.
Come on, lock that up.
Guys, just remember, if you just give us a little bit of support, just log on to iTunes, just hit that subscribe button for me. Also, just leave us a quick review. It takes about 30 seconds, but we do appreciate the support, especially if we're going to keep growing the podcast, and we're getting some really good guests, and we're just going to continue that on. So if you can just do that quickly, that'll be awesome.
Do that right now. Subscribe, 5-star rating, support the cause, support the movement.
You can actually do it while you're listening to the podcast. So.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be rude if they didn't do it.
Yeah, exactly. But also check out our websites for me, www.tristancannellfitness.com. I've got my 3 ebooks and my newsletter list, so get on there. It's all free. Jump on it, and Johnny's got his at.
Yeah, check me out at www.therealfitcoach.com. Sign up for my newsletter. What this will allow you to do, download all my ebooks for free. It'll also keep you in the loop in terms of our scheduling with our guests. We'll give you a shout out. Maybe we do a question and answers promo during the show. So it's just a good opportunity to stay connected with us and to share some ideas as well.
Yeah, most definitely. And just remember, guys, we want to get you involved. So send any of the questions that you have for the show, or even guests that you want featured, send them to the Vision Board Podcast at gmail.com, or get in touch with us individually on our normal emails as well. But we're very excited today. Another one of our big fighters here in Sydney by the name of Billy the Kid Dib, 2-time world champion. He's just a bit of an inspirational bloke. He's had a pretty tough 2015, but he's looking to bounce back. So check out his interview right now.
The Vision Board Podcast, hosted by Johnny Stuffco and Tristan Cannell.
Well, welcome to the Vision Board Podcast. We've got we've got IBO Super Featherweight Champ and former IBF World Featherweight Boxing Champ, Billy the Kid Dib. Welcome to the show, Billy.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
No worries at all, man. First thing we want to touch about, Billy, is just your entry into the boxing world. Now, I've read just a few different articles about you growing up, obviously as a Muslim in the 80s and things like that. Did you experience bullying growing up, man?
You know what, man? I actually did. Bullying was sort of a part of my upbringing. As a young man, I attended school in the Sutherland Shire, and I was a victim to some bullying. Obviously, being a young kid who came from Arab descent, I looked a little bit different. I had the black hair, the brown eyes, the brown skin. So it was a little bit different to what everyone else was seeing around me, and unfortunately, people are often scared of, something that's different, and we were a little bit different. So we were, not just myself, but my brothers as well were victims of bullies and things like that. And we just tried to, we tried our best to just get through school and try to be as friendly as possible. And we tried to kill people with kindness. That was our thing. We didn't want to bully people back. We just figured if people were being bullies, we were just going to try to do our best to fit in and play sport and be part of the teams and just get through school as best as we could.
Yeah, Billy. So in terms of bullying, I feel I faced it growing up as a kid. I feel it happens with almost everyone. you found your outlet through boxing, through the sweet science, and you became one of the best in the world through your outlet. Do you have any advice for somebody who is searching for that expression, that outlet, in terms of finding what they, want to do?
Well, the thing is, look, not everyone's going to be a good boxer. Not everyone's going to be a good basketball player or a soccer player. Or, everyone's got to find their outlet in something they do. And for me, I just figured that, what, I was going to prove people wrong. When I used to get bullied at school, I figured that, I wanted to be different. I wanted to be something special, and I wanted to be somebody who could inspire others. And and the thing is, I go around the schools now and talk to kids about bullying and things like that. It's definitely not a very pleasant thing to go through. And and evidently we know that bullying leads to suicide at times. And I think young children have to be educated by their families and their children not to be bullies. You can often tell if your child will be a bully at school. You can just tell by the demeanor that he has at home. And for the kids who are getting bullied, it's more or less you just need to speak out. Speak out. Don't lose confidence in what you want to be or what you want to do, and then try to use that as a motivation to better yourself every single day. Try to be there and try to make the situation better for others. Sometimes if you get bullied and there's more or less a few other people around you getting bullied, you need to get together with those people and start brainstorming. Maybe speak to some teachers and ask them for some advice. And it's okay to tell the teacher. That's what I more or less tell kids when I go to school. It doesn't mean that you're not cool if you dog. I told you need to dog in order to make the person stop doing it. So you just have to do what you got to do. And for me, I did that. I stood up and I tried to make people stop doing that by going to teachers and telling them that I had a problem and that I was getting bullied and things like that. But I also used that as a motivation. Funny or not, as the years would pass, people that used to bully me became my biggest fans. So it's funny how you can change people's mentalities.
That's a great point too. I like what you said about though that starts at home. So the practice of with the children, with the kids' attitude, it manifests itself usually is coming down from the top. So I think tolerance, practicing, teaching the children, teaching parents how to be tolerant is really important.
Well, that's what it is. I tweeted about that not long ago, saying that for me it's really, really important that parents speak to their children about not being bullied, and being nice at school and being kind to other students and caring and giving. And even though we used to get bullied at school, my father always told us, he said, listen, the only way you're going to get these people is respect is to kill them with kindness, you know what I mean? Fighting back is not going to help, you know what I mean? Throwing punches at these people, it's only going to make them bully you even more because they just want to see you react all the time. But kill these people with kindness, you know what I mean? You do nice things back. If someone's mean to you, you do something nice back. All of a sudden they're going to feel really small because of the actions that they took.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful, man. It sounds like you had a really tight-knit family growing up, man. Who were your major mentors and influences as you progressed through your life, man?
Well, for me, obviously it all started at home. Evidently, I come from a good home, and my mother and father were great people, and my father always made sure that we had everything that we needed. He made us work hard for it, but he always rewarded us. But my childhood hero and my mentor was more or less my brother Emad, one of my older brothers. He was exactly who I wanted to be when I was a kid. I just wanted to be just like my brother.
Yep.
He was my inspiration, and and he supported me throughout my amateur career. He made sure that he took me to he'd come watch me fight all the time. He'd support me. I remember he bought me my first gloves. When I was a kid, he took me to watch Rocky fight in the cinema. So he was like a lot of things that my older brother Emad did for me really stood out. And he went on to mentor me throughout my career and basically managed my boxing career, to this point.
Yeah, that's an interesting point too. So your older brother Emad was your inspiration. I'm sure your younger brother, who recently just picked up a W in the ring, I'm sure you're his inspiration. So
yeah,
that's the best form of being a leader right there, man. Leading by example.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the thing is, that's exactly how my father, basically brought us up and raised us is that we got to be there for each other. And, you know, my older brother was there for me. All my brothers have always been there for me. You know, my brother Jihad, my brother Muhammad, Ahmad, my brother Nasser. You know, we've always been there for each other. And just like they were there for me, you know, now we're there for my younger brother Youseef, who has ambitions and drives to become world champion one day. And, you know, hopefully through my experiences and my life journey throughout the sport, you know, I've made some good contacts. Maybe one day we can sort of lead him to that world title that, you know, eludes so many people in their life. You know what I mean? And so many fighters fight their whole career and never get an opportunity at a title. Yeah. So, you know, to be able to get an opportunity for my brother one day, that would be a blessing. And, you know, that's something that we'll definitely work hard for because, you know, to help the child realize his dream, I mean, that's a very beautiful thing.
Yeah, man.
Just on Youseef, Billy, I've just been watching a clip on him of his pro debut, man. He's got a beautiful right hand, man. He dropped that guy and ended the fight in that first round. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. He landed an outside right hand. It was something that we were working on in the change rooms, and you know he went out and basically he executed exactly what we were telling him to do in the change room, which was amazing. And the thing that I was saying today to a friend of mine is that when a young man is making a professional debut, usually there's a lot of pressure on him. You know, especially from my younger brother Youseef, he's got some big shoes to fill. So you know, it was just beautiful to see him come out and, you know, listen to the instructions that we had given him and to go out and basically, you know, deliver that sort of performance was just fantastic.
Yeah, man. So I there's a photo floating around of you that it's probably my favorite photo when I search Billy Dib, and it's of you a moment right after you won a belt, and you're holding it and you're just smiling, and there's this emotion of just the most honest like version of a human in that moment. What did that feel like?
Oh wow! You know, I look. There's been a lot of great moments in my career, but you know, the most outstanding moment in my career was when I was announced as the winner of the IBF Featherweight Championship of the World, and to have won it in that fashion, where I basically shut the guy out and won nearly every single round. I mean, that was just such an amazing victory, and I remember the moment that my hand was raised in victory, and you know, when the belt was put around my waist, and I actually took the belt off and held it in my hands, and I lifted it up above my head. It was like the whole world's weight had come off my shoulders. It was like everything that I had ever dreamed of, everything that I had ever spoken about, you know, predicted, had come true at that point. I became world champion. I became a legitimate world champion, and you know, I just felt like I was forever in the history books.
Yeah,
it's an amazing.
Yeah, it is awesome too. I know you're still in your career. You're 30. That moment has to be motivation enough to maybe want to taste that again. But a perspective on that is, man, the world is filled with humans, 7 billion or so. I don't know the exact number. And at one time, and you still are, you were on the top of the whole world, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the thing, you know, like life changed dramatically from that point. You know, it changed enough that my brothers had changed my name in their phone from Billy to Champ. You know what I mean? You know, that really, honestly, it meant a lot to me. You know, that when I would call my brothers, they would say, "Hey, Champ, what's going on?" You know.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you never lose that because, you know, once you become champ, you're champ forever. You know what I mean? Like, you'll always be remembered as, hey, the champ. You know, you were the champ. At one stage, you were the champ, and it's a great feeling. You know, for me, I feel that boxing was always going to be a platform to bigger and better things. You know, and when I talk about bigger and better things, I think about being a mentor for other people, being an example for others. You know, as you guys know, a lot of you know, the heat that the Islamic faith is getting at the moment it's way overboard. And you know, I like to show people that I'm an example, and that I am a good Muslim, and you know, that I represent my faith, my family, my culture, my country at the highest level. You know, I try to be as respectful as I can. And I tweeted the other day. I said that you know, I'm an Australian-born Muslim. You know, I've represented Australia all over the world. I've carried the flag proudly, and I am a Muslim. You know, and that's the thing. You know, I wanted to show people that, look, you guys are saying that Muslims are this and Muslims that. Well, hold on a second. I'm a Muslim, and I represent our country to the fullest. When I fight, I don't come out with a Lebanon flag and a Palestinian flag. No, I come out with the Australian flag. That's my flag. That's my home.
Yeah.
I represent my home, and I try to represent it to the fullest.
Yeah, Billy, you do a great job doing that. I wanted to piggyback on when you mentioned, your faith and you being a world caliber fighter. One of my closest friends back home in Ohio, I'm name dropping Eddie Itam. He's the man. He's Palestinian and he's American. And we played ball together. We played football. We played basketball. And during Ramadan, it was a really hard time for him to compete. And for those, could you give us a little bit of insight, like when you're training, are you doing anything different? Are you still as disciplined as your faith requires of you during that time?
Okay, well, here's the thing, right? When I was coming up as a professional, as you know, it's vital to be in the ring as much as you can. So, I would train throughout Ramadan. But what I would do is I would alter my training sessions to cater to myself and my fasting. So, for example, I wasn't part of a team. I wasn't part of a football team or a basketball team. Where I had to alter the whole team's workouts and stuff like that. So what I would do is I would basically fast throughout the whole day, break my fast, and then I'd go to the gym and train at around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So, and then in that way, I'd be able to drink, eat, I'd have fluids in my system while I was training. I was able to get the best out of myself. And then I would, start the next day again. It's the same thing. I would just follow the same routine every single day. And what I'd do is, just before I broke my fast, I'd go for a jog. You know what I mean? So I'd go for a half-hour jog just before breaking my fast. So I knew that as soon as I got home from jogging, it was good. I was going to be good to go. I was going to be able to have a drink. So, I more or less worked my career around my faith. So, I never altered my faith to my career. You know what I mean? Like, my faith always came first. Boxing always came second. Yeah. And I had to put God first. You know what I mean? I had to put fasting first. That was an obligation upon me as a Muslim. So it's not like, okay, well, if I don't fast, God's going to forgive me. No. And this is what God asked of us to give 1 month of our life, which is called Ramadan, and this is the month for God. And and I wasn't going to be altering my faith for my career. And I think that's where the success came from. That I believe that God only and nothing's possible without God. Victory only comes through God. Winning only comes through God. All that sort of stuff. So basically, all my life, I've sort of felt that if I won, it was all praise due to God, and if I lost, it was still all praise due to God, because God knows best. You win some, you lose some, and I've always accepted that whatever God decrees for me is going to be best for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Well said, man.
Billy, now in 2004 you missed the Australian Olympic team due to injury, man, but you also got the opportunity to represent Lebanon. But as you've been saying before, you're a true Australian, so you turned down that opportunity, and then you got to actually train with Prince Nassim, man. What was that experience like, man?
Prince was a beast.
Yeah.
Well, man, it was a dream come true. You know what I mean? Like, I think when you do an honourable thing like I did, I could have gone over to fight for Lebanon, go through the African Games and hopefully secure a spot to fight for Lebanon at the Olympics. But my father was a very intelligent man, and he said, okay, let's just say you do make it to the Olympics. Well, that's a big thing. That would be a dream come true. And you had the opportunity to do that for Australia, but your recklessness as a child cost you that opportunity. Now, let's just say you go to the Olympic Games and you are fighting against an Australian in the opening round and you win the fight. He goes, well, basically, you've turned your back on the country that helped you get to that point. So, as your father, I'm not going to allow you to do that. So, I was a little bit heartbroken at the time, but, being a young kid and wanting to go to the Olympics, I couldn't understand how my father wouldn't allow me to go and represent Lebanon at the Olympic Games. But my father's a very wise man, and, I understood where he was coming from. So, and I think when you do an honourable thing, good things happen to you. And, through being an honourable person, I was able to meet Prince Nassim Hamed. And, this was put together by a really, really good friend of mine whose name is Adam Huda, and another good friend of Prince Nassim whose name is Khalid Yassin. And, it was all put together. And now me and Prince Nassim share, like, one of the most amazing friendships. And, brotherhoods that you could ask for.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, late teens, watching Prince hit the scene, and he'd come into the ring, crip walking, two-stepping, and I had never seen anything like it. It was one of those things that, I think he retired 15-1, instant Hall of Famer. But yeah, that's an awesome connection, and you guys are both champions.
Yeah, well, the thing that makes it even more amazing is that, Nassim retired with an amazing, career. He had secured 35 victories and 1 defeat in his professional career.
Yeah.
And on the way to becoming one of the greats of boxing, Prince Nassim captured the WBO featherweight world title. He captured the WBO, the IBF featherweight world title. He also captured the WBA title and the WBC world title. So basically, when you think about Prince Nassim's career, it was amazing. And I sort of, as a young man, my first initial shot at the world title was against the WBO champion, Stephen Loeveno.
Yeah.
It was my dream to become the WBO champion because I wanted to follow in the footsteps of my childhood hero, who was Prince Nassim Hamed. Unfortunately, after losing that fight, I had to come back to the drawing board, and that's exactly what I did. And then, when you think about this and you think about where history places us, it's amazing because in 1997, Prince Nassim outpointed Tom Boom Boom Johnson to win the IBF featherweight title of the world. You fast forward all these years, and in 2011, I captured the IBF featherweight world title, and this was a prediction that Prince Nassim had made. That's what makes it so special, is that he predicted that I would someday become world champion. And not only did I become world champion, but I also captured the same world title that he once upon a time held, which is, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
So that makes me so happy. That's like one of my proudest moments, to know that I stand in the history books alongside one of my childhood heroes. Somebody who basically inspired me and guided me through my career.
Yeah, Billy, what's your opinion on this? I read this somewhere. I like it. I put it in my life, and it talks about if you live your life with passion and you live it with purpose, there's no such thing as failure. Like, you set a goal, you want to become a champion, and even if you lose a fight, you never failed, because who you turned out to be during that journey is way more valuable in the end. Is this something that you think about, or is it really tough to get past failures or losses? How does that work with you?
Well, look, the thing is, man, life is full of winning and full of losing. No matter how much of a winner you are in your life, at some point in your life you lose something. You know what I mean? Because if life was all about winning, I just don't think it goes that way. Because in life you lose family members, you lose friends, things. You lose things. You're constantly losing and losing. It's stuff that you win that allows you to keep moving forward in your life. But when it comes to sport, and it comes to a sport like boxing, you gotta understand. There's two people who are getting in the ring, and they're both at an elite level, and one of them's gonna win and one's gonna lose, and that's just the way the sport goes. And you gotta work extremely hard and believe that you're gonna win. And sometimes, you believe you're gonna win, but you get in the ring and things go the other way, and the other guy wins. Well, that was his time to win. You know what I mean? So, not everyone in life gets to stay undefeated in the sport of boxing. And I guarantee in life, no one stays undefeated in anything, because in life, people lose things. We all lose things. As good as Floyd Mayweather is, and as much of a legend of a boxer that he is, I guarantee you he loses a lot of things. He's lost family members.
Yeah.
He's lost a lot of money. I know for a fact, Floyd Mayweather, that he loses millions and millions of dollars every year in gambling. You know what I mean? So, as much as he's winning, he's still losing.
I like what you said. About defeated. One of my, I'm sure you may agree, Ali. I have this book of quotes, and for inspiration, I'll go through them. There's a couple that I keep with me in my back pocket, but he has the one about defeated, and he talks about only a man who knows what it's like to be defeated can reach down to the bottom of his soul and come up with the extra ounce of power it takes to win when the match is even. That guy was, once in a lifetime.
Look, let me tell you something right now. Muhammad Ali yes, he was a great athlete, but Muhammad Ali was even a greater person.
Oh yeah, he stood for a movement.
Muhammad Ali was like nobody. There will never be another Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? It just doesn't matter. Muhammad Ali was in the prime of his career when 3 years of his career was robbed away from him in his prime. You know, Muhammad Ali should and always be recognized as the greatest fighter to ever walk on this planet.
Oh yeah, he was way more than an athlete, way more than just a prize fighter. He stood for a movement, and he stood for hope. I think that's the big thing.
Muhammad Ali made a difference in the world, and that's what matters.
That's right.
You know, you when you enter this world, you know, it's about making a difference and being an inspiration for others, and he definitely was an inspiration for his people at that time.
Yeah, it still is. Yeah.
Billy, talk to us about when you first made it through to America, man. It must have been pretty humbling to be approached by Golden Boy Promotions and Oscar De La Hoya. Tell us a little bit about that, man.
Man, it was a very, very intriguing. It's a very, very intriguing story, and it's a story that definitely you know, surprises a lot of people. But basically, how it all happened was that after my 21st birthday, Jeff Fennick, who attended my 21st birthday, said that he was going to take me to America to meet Mike Tyson for my birthday. So I was in America with Jeff Fennick. You know, I met Mike Tyson. Things were going really, really good. And then one day I went to a Foot Locker store in Vegas, and I met a guy who was at the Foot Locker store who claimed that he knew Prince Nassim. And when I contacted, then I said to him, contact Prince and tell him that I'm here. And when he contacted the Prince, and he realized that the Prince knew me and that Prince and I were really, really good friends, he then said to me, hey, I'm really good friends with Shane Mosely. Are you signed to anybody? And I said, no, I'm a free agent. I just fight at home and I'm just working my way up. And he said, oh, what's your record? And I said, well, I've got a record of 13-0. And he said, okay. He goes, man, why don't I call Shane and see if I can come up with something? So then he contacted Shane. And next thing you know, Shane said I should come up to Pomona and meet him. And so I went to Pomona, California to meet with Shane. Upon arriving at Shane's home, Shane said, do you want to go to the gym and work out? I said, yeah. He said, do you want to spar? And I said, yeah, for sure. So when we went to the gym, I saw Shane Mosely wrapping his hands, and I'm like, Shane, what are you doing? And he's like, don't you want to spar? And I'm like, who? And he said, me. I said, do you want me to spar you? So next thing you know, I'm in the ring sparring with Sugar Shane Mosely, you know? Yeah. He just come off knocking Fernando Vargas out in the rematch. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in the ring with Sugar Shane Mosely. And so I just basically just grit my teeth. I chased Shane down. I just tried to get him wherever I could. And in the end, after sparring him for 3 rounds, I'll get out of the ring, and he said to me, how would you like to be signed to Golden Boy Promotions? And I was like, really? And he was like, yep. And so the next thing you know, I was signed to Golden Boy Promotions. The career took off. You know, my first appearance on the card was on the undercard of Winky Wright versus Cycle Tay. Then on the undercard of Shane Mosely versus Colazo. Yeah. Then on the undercard of Oscar De La Hoya versus Floyd Mayweather. Wow. Then Shane Mosely versus Cotto. Then Katsides versus Casamayor. And then eventually I was on the undercard of it was on the undercard of Bernard Hopkins versus Kelly Pavlik. So,
that's my boy. I grew up with Kelly.
Yeah, so I had an amazing journey. I fought on some of the biggest cards in some of the biggest arenas. You know, and I mean, look, you know, in saying all that, I've had an amazing career, and boxing's been so amazing to me and so kind to me, and I've met some of the most beautiful and amazing people in the world. And you know, my journey, it's one to read. You know, it's going to be a story that one day, you know, when I sit down and do my autobiography, it's going to be a great book to read. That's for sure.
Yeah, Billy. A couple weeks ago, we had Fennick on, and I asked him to tell I asked him to tell his favorite Mike story, favorite Tyson story. So to piggyback off that, the guys that you were hanging around with, you know, out in LA, out in Vegas, whether it was Mike, 50, could you share like maybe a story with us?
I'll tell you a funny story. About when 50 Cent signed me up to TNT Promotions, he just signed me up, and he said, let's go out to get some tea. So we went out to get some tea, and he goes, I'm going to take you somewhere special, you know. So I said, all right, cool. So it was me, 50 Cent, and my brother Eman, And
Say that again. Like me, 50 Cent, my brother Emad.
yeah, exactly. And then 50 Cent opened the trunk of his car and he pulled out like a massive bottle of money. Like I'm talking a huge bottle of money, right? And he basically split the money in half, and he gave me half of it. I was like, I looked at my brother Emad like, do I take this money? And he's like, and then 50 was like, here, man, take this. You're going to need it. And so I took the money, and then we went into, it was a freaking strip joint, man.
Attaboy.
You know what I mean? And so we're in a strip joint, right? And I'm feeling really, really uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm really uncomfortable because I'm like, just before meeting up with 50 that day, I just finished praying, asking God to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And that, you know, I pray that, you know, I get a contract with 50 Cent for Malva and it goes really well. So next thing you know, he signs me up and I'm in this freaking strip joint, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
Anyway, and to top things off, it's the month of Ramadan. You know what I'm saying?
You're breaking every rule there is.
And so then I'm looking at my brother Emad saying, man, we got to get out of here, you know? And he's like, man, let's get out of here, you know? So I said to 50, I said, 50, I got to go. And he's like, what do you mean? You haven't even thrown any of the money at the girls? I'm like, look, man, I can't throw none of the money because I don't throw money because, you know, I believe that money is a blessing and, you know, you don't throw a blessing around, you know?
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right. And I'm like, he's like, well, just chill, man. I'm like, well, I really can't. I said, I really got to get out of here. And he's like, why? And I'm like, look, man, it's the month of Ramadan and I just finished praying, asking God to make things a success between us. Okay, you signed me up and next thing you know, I'm in a strip joint. That's not a very good sign, you know? And so then, and he's like, oh, well, let's get out of here then. I'm like, please, you know? So we were in there literally for like 5 minutes, right? And you know, we got out, and as we're walking out, the stripper says to 50, hey, 50, where you going? And he looks at it and he goes, you're lucky it's Ramadan, baby.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
Oh, man. So that's the story right there.
Were you in Vegas or LA?
I was in Vegas, man.
Was it the Rhino? Were you at the Spirit Rhino?
I really don't know where I was, man. That's the truth. I don't know.
Yeah, Vegas is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Billy, thanks so much for your time today, but just before you go, man, can you just leave us with some words of inspiration, just for someone out there chasing their dreams or maybe just needing a little bit of a boost in life, man?
Yeah, definitely, man. You know, my message is the same message that I always tell people is that, you know, if you want something in life and you believe in it, then chase it. Don't let anybody put you down, you know. Nothing that nobody says is going to matter. At the end of the day, it's your own actions that are going to matter. And if you believe that you have a dream and you have an inspiration, you want to be something, you want to do something in your life, well, then go out there and chase it, and don't ever let anybody put you down. Just keep working at it until you get what you want.
Yeah, man, that's great stuff. Billy, could you do one more thing for us, for our listeners, followers who are just getting to know you? Could you let them know where they can find you online?
Yeah, definitely. Well, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Billy Dib. So anyone that's looking to follow me, it's just at Billy Dib. It's
Awesome,
very
man.
easy.
Hey, thank you for your time, Billy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys.
Awesome, man. We wish you the best for 2016, man, and hopefully we'll have you back on shortly, dude.
Thank you very much. You guys take care. God bless.
You
All
too,
right,
man. Be good.
Thanks, Billy.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Yeah, so once again, the you know, how we get to do this, we choose to do this, and
It's a blessing, like he spoke about God.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own different religions, but it is a bit of a blessing
Yeah.
that we get to speak to people like Billy Dib, because he's an
What a great
inspirational
dude, man. Yeah, he speaks really well, and he's a great storyteller. He reminds me of one of those throwback type fighter guys.
I do love the fact that, you know, whether it's win or lose, you know, he still is competing in life. Do you know what I mean? And it's not just about sports. It's about. I love how family orientated he is.
Family oriented, how disciplined though, the integrity this kid walks around with on a daily basis. And when he mentioned about his priorities, and he put his faith first over the sport, over his craft, over his calling, that tells you all you need to know about a guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm just inspired to see Billy's next fight, and just I just want to meet him in person, to be honest. Like,
yeah, the thing is that's why, like, this platform, what we get to do is, it's not, you know, we're both in the wellness and the fitness industry. People rely on us on a daily basis to help them evolve. But this is a platform now that people could sit down and just chat and tell stories of inspiration and talk about, moments that really affected them and anchors in their life that allow them to move forward.
Yeah, I love the fact that Billy's so grounded. Like, it doesn't matter about all the celebrities in life. He told us about all the undercards he's been on, meeting Mosely, De La Hoya, 50
so
Cent.
the Hopkins Pavlik undercard. So that means he was on. I watched that whole card.
Yeah,
that's when Hopkins beat up Pavlik.
Absolutely.
At 170. But yeah, it's crazy. And like the whole 50 story about. It's funny how you look at the cash. If you look at the cash metaphorically, when 50 hands him the cash and says, "You're gonna need this."
Yeah.
Like someone like you and I will see that cash, and it might represent something. For 50 Cent, it represents, a lifestyle option.
Yeah, that's his lifestyle.
Interesting, right?
It doesn't have to be like that, but yeah, guys, if you want to see more people like Billy, suggestions, guys. So send us a quick email at divisionboardpodcast@gmail.com. We want to bring more people like Billy on, not just about his sporting accomplishments, but just the man that he is. So
yeah, as you can tell, if you guys been following us for the first 8, 9, 10 episodes, we touch base a little bit on fitness, a little bit on well-being, but it's more about the process, what makes people tick, the emotions. I like hearing about certain moments in our guests' lives of sheer jubilee and positive advice for people. So
yeah, definitely, man. Well, there's a lot of words for wisdoms for you to check it out. You probably want to replay the interview, but just before we go, another shout out to our awesome sponsors, Jack Rabbit Slim's Barbershop and The Organic Trainer.
Yeah, Organic Trainer, www.theorganictrainer.com for all of your tea needs. Get your water bottle there. When you're proceeding to checkout, type in keyword The Fit Coach to receive 10% off of all of your purchases. If you're in the Sydney area, King's Cross, Potts Point, check out Jack Rabbit Slim's Barbershop. Be sure to set an appointment up with Dre. He'll hook you up with the fade, the fro, the do, whatever you're trying to do to look good.
Definitely. Guys, check out our websites too, www.therealfitcoach.com. Johnny's got some ebooks on there. Join his newsletter list. It's free. You get plenty of info. Jump on mine, www.tristancannellfitness.com. Both are same but different. You're going to get a lot of content.
It's like night and day.
Nice and fresh, man. So
you got to keep it fresh.
Get on there. Support the cause. Also, jump on iTunes. If you could just quickly hit that subscribe button, leave us a 5-star rating. You must get a 5-star rating after that interview with Billy Dib because the man is a legend.
Yeah, also, when you sign up to the newsletter, you'll be instantly involved in our process and bringing people on. We like the feedback. We like sharing ideas. I sent this guy last week a video to watch, mentioned something we did in episode 3 or 4. So things like that. It's an opportunity to be interactive, and it's an opportunity to just stay connected.
Most definitely. Well, everyone, you guys have a great week, and we'll speak to you next week.
The Vision Board Podcast, hosted by Johnny Stofko and Tristan Cannell.